Key figure in what has been a dramatic and often unpredictable race is Education Minister Naftali Bennett. Back in December, he left the leadership of the Jewish Home Party to co-found the New Right Party, aiming to attract both religious and secular voters on the hard right.
He is 47 years old, was born in Haifa to American migrant parents. He served as Minister of Education since 2015 and Minister of Diaspora Affairs since 2013. And according to our latest I-24 News Israel Hayom poll, the New Right is projected to win 6 seats in next week's election. Minister Bennett joins us now alongside Editor-in-Chief of the Israel Hayom Daily, Boaz Bismuth. And Minister Bennett, we just saw that 6 seats. The party has dropped in the polls in the last couple of months. It's actually less than you had in the Jewish Home Party. Do you feel you're getting your message across to voters?
Well, we need about 10 seats in order for me to become defense minister and take care of Hamas. Because we cannot continue this crazy situation where a terror organization controls Israel. And in order for Ayelet Shaked to complete the second phase of her justice revolution, what she's doing. And right now we're about 4 seats away, so we've got 1 week for the Yamin HaChadash to take on another 4 seats. It's sort of interesting elections because it's not about who's going to be prime minister. That's going to be Netanyahu. There's only one question in these elections. Who's he going to partner with? Is it going to be Benny Gantz and Yair Lapid? So Gantz as defense minister, which I think would be a disaster, and or with me and Shaked. That's the question of the elections, and I hope it's us, but we need about 10 seats to get that happening.
So only to understand, 10 seats, your Ministry of Defense. 6 seats, you what?
I don't know. You know, if, today there was a poll that came out within the Jewish population where I'm the most desired for defense minister. But people have to understand that having a nice poll in the newspaper is not good enough. They have to actually go out and vote for the Yamin HaChadash, for the new Yamin. Otherwise, I won't be defense minister. So if people want to change, radically change the situation with Hamas, it's been 10 years that these terrorists have been shooting rockets at us, and it seems that people have given up. Well, I know exactly what we need to do to eradicate this, and I hope that the people watching will give us their support.
So let's get specific about that, because as you're saying now, a big sort of campaign issue over the last couple of weeks for you has been Gaza and Hamas. You've said no less than that Israel should open the gates of hell over the Gaza Strip. So what exactly does that mean? Does it mean ground forces? What is it?
No, it does not mean ground forces. What it means is that we need to, 2 phases. A, to neutralize Gaza and Hamas in the sense that I'm not dealing with deterrence. The current thesis, the current doctrine is that we'll deter them. But it's not working. They're not deterred. We bomb them and nothing happens. My thesis is different. I want to neutralize them, take away their weapons.
In what way?
In an operation, that's the first phase. But the real novelty is what happens afterwards, the ongoing phase, where I call it lawn mowing. Meaning the very moment there's any sign of grass, any sign of a new terrorist, of a new factory, a missile factory, a rocket factory, we don't wait, we bomb it. We don't allow them to gain force and power in the first place. This is what we're doing today in Syria. So it's a whole different approach, which I am confident that if I get the keys to the defense ministry, I can defeat Hamas. We can defeat Hamas. Man, it's the state of Israel, for heaven's sake. We can take care of this terror organization.
I want to be clarified. You've said you support Prime Minister Netanyahu to be Prime Minister. If Benny Gantz is the defense minister, would your party serve in that government?
That would be an unmitigated disaster.
But would you serve in that government?
Look, if we have 4 seats or 5 seats, I don't know. I'm not boycotting Benny Gantz in a government of Netanyahu, but that would be a disaster because Benny Gantz and Yalon, they're the architects of this very situation in Gaza. They're the guys who haven't done anything.
Under Netanyahu.
Under Netanyahu, because Netanyahu has had failed defense ministers. He needs a different spirit. We need to defeat these bastards in Hamas.
You came with a concrete proposition in the conflict in Gaza. Would you say, in Blue and White Party, you have got 3 chief of staffs. Would you say that these were generals without imagination?
Well, these generals have failed, factually. It was Benny Gantz as chief of staff. It was Bogi Yalon as defense minister that failed terribly in the latest operation 4 years ago. You know, the short story is I discovered these 30 terror tunnels that were known in the army but not brought to the security cabinet. I laid out the plan to go in and destroy them, and these two guys, for 18 days, they did everything to postpone. They did everything to not go in and do it, and ultimately we destroyed those tunnels and saved southern people from a disastrous terror attack. These folks, you know, they're good people, they're not bad, but they've got it so wrong, and it would be a disaster to have them lead our security.
You have been so harshly critical of Prime Minister Netanyahu the last few weeks on his Gaza policy. Do you think that you may actually be helping Benny Gantz in that respect?
Well, I think Netanyahu needs good people next to him. I think he's a good prime minister by and large.
Is he also a good minister of defense?
He did a good job with economy, a good job in the political realm.